Alright guys, welcome back to what I think is episode 12 of this How to Build a $1 Million Business series. I thought I had everything figured out, technically, with this whole streaming, YouTubing, content, whatever setup, but Loom was giving me trouble. Don't get me wrong, I still love them. My speakers were giving me trouble. I think the music is at the right level, so we're going to wing it because I've got to go to Miami tomorrow to take care of some stuff that I have down there. And it is too late to continue messing around with this. By the way, while I'm in Miami, I will be getting a haircut and beard trim from my barber. So hopefully I look like a much more put together person when I come back on the streams. But that will be post Miami, which is part of why I wanted to make a video tonight, because I don't think I will be able to make a video while I'm at my place in Miami. I won't have this setup, I won't have these lights, I won't have this speaker, I won't have this, this microphone, these speakers. So I might do one, like a raw video on a laptop, maybe, but I may not, so let's just make one tonight. So I want to pick up where we left off, and I know we were in Excel, and I have a bunch of stuff to do, because now I'm trying to get this going. It's getting serious. Yeah, whatever. It's not to give you many options. Okay, so move this ugly mug here, and let's go back to our Excel sheet. Okay, so we have our budget. We're going to do a quick recap. So, again, this is our budget, $10K to get to $1 million in ARR, which for those of you that don't know is average recurring revenue, or annualized recurring revenue, which basically means on a monthly basis, are you making enough per month in a 12-month period to make $1 million? So that's kind of our goal with this $10,000 budget. And then we are going through all of our expenses to get this thing off the ground. So remember, I was initially going to buy a computer, but my little brother let me have his old one, which is awesome. Thank you, Frank. Webcam I had, microphone I had, keyboard I had, monitor I had one. I'm picking up a second one when I go to my place in Miami tomorrow. Mouse I had, avatar I spent some money on. MacBook Pro, I was going to buy a new one to do editing, but I'm using my old one, which doesn't work perfectly, but works if you use headphones, because there's no sound, or it's pretty terrible sound otherwise. And then I have external hard drives. I've had those forever, so I guess what I'm trying to point out here is that even though I could spend more than this, and even though I could budget more for this, it's better to be resourceful as an entrepreneur. In fact, it's more fun. Kind of makes it like a game. And it teaches a lot of really good lessons about where you can cut costs, because you got to get edgy and you got to get pretty ruthless with how you humble yourself to ask for things. I mean, like, to ask my little brother, hey, can I borrow your PC? When he looks up to me and he's like, oh, wow, he's a successful guy. Like, that's humbling. That's not the easiest thing in the world to do. And then, you're going through storage and other stuff. People are like, why don't you just buy new? And you're like, no, I don't think so. I'm going to do this the old-fashioned way. Anyway, so, long story short, I want to do a recap. So, like I said, this is kind of the investment startup stuff. This Upwork stuff is part of my story, which I'll have to do a longer video for. But basically, to give you guys a quick rundown, and I think I've done this in another video, but I'm going to do it now. I'm going to do it again, and I'll probably do it 10 or 15 times. 10 or 15x times, let's put it that way, as I go through the series. I'm going to recap my story, my journey, who I am, for the audience that's just joining us. So, I've been an entrepreneur for as long as I can remember. I mean, I started at like 10 years old trading snacks, and then I started selling gum in middle school because they banned it, and then started selling skateboards and fireworks and all these other things in New York that when I went to high school people were in demand of. And that evolved into starting legitimate businesses in college. And one of those businesses was a business called College Tickets that turned into a business called College Stack, thanks to one of my dear friends now, but at the time someone who I didn't know, but I've come to really appreciate, and he's become a big part of my life, Matt Ockwell, who's a brother of mine now. And College Stack evolved into something which was called iMobile 3 Passport, kind of digital coupon thing out of Jacksonville, which then the print company / what we retained as ownership turned into something called Blurtbox. Blurtbox was a traditional tech startup that I ran out of Florida, but was really running out of New York and spending probably half the year in San Francisco getting that thing off the ground. And we got huge customers, Marriott, Papa John's, Burger King, other groups that were significant brand name people in the hospitality space that wanted to use our product, which was basically a private Yelp. And unfortunately, things went south based on how we raised money, how we thought we were going to scale. I learned a lot from that, and from there, I wrote a book called First Money In. Actually, before First Money In, I started a podcast called Startup Financial News, which I referenced in, I believe, the last episode, if not the episode before that. And that podcast turned into me writing a book called First Money In. Struggling to remember the timeline because it was such a tough time. But after that, there was something or other that turned into a catalyst for me to start working as a consultant. And I started working as a consultant for this one company that hired me to do some initially M&A work for them. And here's what we're listening to, so that we don't get demonetized. But I started working for a company that wanted to hire me, and I said, I will work for you guys, but I want you to hire me through this service, because at the time, and this is 5-6 years ago at this point, maybe 7 years, these guys had an escrow service for freelancers and consultants, and this platform has evolved into so much more. I mean, look at who they're trusted by. But this whole Upwork thing, the reason I used it was for their escrow services, and I was like, okay, if I'm going to work for a company, I want to make sure I'm going to get paid. So anyway, Upwork evolved, and I was able to find new customers, and I was able to build a good, what I at the time thought was a consulting business, which really evolved into somewhat of an investment banking business, which then led me to start my last company, which is called North Star, which was a consulting firm that focused on helping companies with investment banking work. And then we were eventually approached by another investment bank that said, hey, you know, we'd like to invest in you. They did, and then they wanted to buy us out. And the buyout went well to a degree, but there were certain elements of the buyout that didn't come to fruition, which kind of led me to get to a point where it was, you know, a very amicable, yet nonetheless not the best outcome kind of goodbye, if that makes sense. I don't really know how to describe it. I mean, I would work with those guys any day, but it just wasn't manifesting, let's put it that way. The whole acquisition thing, which if you've ever been through a company that's been acquired, or you've been through any M&A transactions or whatever, you know what that feels like. So that was kind of my last little stint as an entrepreneur, and then I've taken the last couple months off, just relaxing, spending time with family, thinking about what, you know, matters to me. And again, if you go back to some of the earlier videos in this, which are probably super discombobulated and will continue to be for the time being until I get a rhythm here, I'm kind of doing what I've always done, which is just identify a trend, jump on it, and let's see what happens. And content right now seems to be more important than anything else. And so I'm trying to build content into this mix of also building this whole $1 million business idea, you know, thing or whatever it's going to be. So as we've covered in a couple videos, you know, we have some ideas. Oops. We have some ideas. We can bring back the podcasts. We can do some streaming. We can do some YouTube and some TikTok. And this is all content. And then I have Upwork jobs, which is kind of my old school stuff. Greenfield investment banking. So this is an important note, because after I sold my last company, or after the transaction details went through, which is probably a better way to put it, I ended up going through a process of understanding that investment banking world a little bit more, and I have the right licenses, and I have the right certifications and the right accreditations to operate in that field. And it is a high-paying field. So there's a piece of me that thinks, you know, and this is about playing your cards the right way. I think I mentioned this in a previous video. Don't ever be too humble to not play your advantage cards, and don't ever be too proud to not play your advantage cards. And what I mean by that is everybody has something in their hand that trumps somebody else. And if you have one of those things, it's a connection, it's a friend, it's a privilege, it's a way you grew up, it's a who you know, it's a who you don't know, it's a whatever it is, whatever that card is, play that damn card. And I'm going to play my card of having an into this world of investment banking and Wall Street here, and I'm going to use that as a way to propel these other things for the time being. If it works, I may play the card, I may get trumped by somebody else. I may not find one of those opportunities to make some high income. If I set up a new investment bank, that's going to cost me quite a bit of money. I'm going to have upfront fees to get that going, but we're going to see how that goes. If I apply for Upwork jobs, it's a little less risky, and this teaching gigs thing online, we'll see how that goes. That could be an ancillary thing, but long story short, find a way to play whatever cards you have. So what I need to do now is I need to probably pause this video because I'm going to do this Upwork stuff. And let's see where this, yeah, Upwork is here. Start a course, Upwork, yeah, it's going to be on. Okay, so I have a few inbound opportunities, on this Upwork side of things, which, as you guys know, is here. And I'm going to have to sign into my account to reply to one inquiry for someone that wants to hire me. And I'm going to have to email two folks, two different groups that have emailed me from, one, a connection that I'm familiar with that heard I was back in the business that sent me an opportunity, and two, an old client that liked working with me and my team in the past and wants to work with us again. So I want to draft those emails. I'm not good enough at this YouTube video stuff yet to blur stuff out. I don't have an editor. This is all super raw, so I'm unfortunately going to have to pause the video while I do that, but I'll come back after I draft those emails and send this message over here, and I will hopefully wrap up the video then and tell you guys what I said or how I said it or what the next steps are, and yeah, we'll go from there. So I'm going to pause the video and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so that took a lot longer than I expected to answer those emails and send some of that Upwork stuff out, but we took care of that and we are able to move on. So now if I go to Excel, let's see, ideas. So this looks I need a task sheet, something like I used to use Microsoft to do, but that got bought out. Let me see if I can find something. I used to use something called Asana. Yeah. Okay. Should I do the canceled Kenny account or my personal account? By the way, send hate or love email to either of these. Love you guys. My name is Canceled Kenny, so send a hate email too. Anyway, the Canceled Kenny. We're making progress, but it feels like we're going backwards because I've done this for so many years. Okay. Nothing loading, my friends. You know what though? On that note, there is something I want to do. I did see a game today that I'm dying to play that I did not know existed. Call of Duty Vanguard. There it is. This game looks awesome. I have no idea if I paused it last time, but I'll pause it this time. Okay, unpause. This game looks honestly awesome. Now let's see. My youngest brother told me that there's a. By the way, this thing sucks. What is this going on here? G2A. Call of Duty Vanguard Steam. Okay. We'll try that. Nothing. Nada. Alright, at least we got a sauna. Here's my full name, folks. Ooh. I am no longer an executive, no longer a director, no longer a freelancer. No, not this. I'm a freelancer. Let's roll. Okay. And what do we're gonna skip this. I'm not sure. Window board. Yes, there we go. Nice. And I want to do what I used to do. What is this? Task. Send emails. Okay. That is exactly what this looked like, except mine would be called to do in progress and done. But that is oh. I didn't know I could do that. Do in progress and done. Sick. No teammates. We're solo dolo. Yep. That should be pretty sick to have on the desktop. But either way, let's go back. Okay, here we go. We have something. Alright, we're good to go. So we're going to send our emails. We're going to drive to Miami and we're going to send texts and those text emails out. Okay. Yes, this is good. I am very happy with this. Okay. Alright, that's good. We'll have to figure this out at some point, but good. Okay, so that's Asana. Boom, boom, boom. Nothing here. Okay. We'll do a quick pause. Alright guys, and we are back. And I think I'm going to set myself up for some streaming stuff here. And I'm going to go ahead and get this game. It's not priced better on G2A, so might as well add to cart. Purchase for myself. Yep. Good. Sweet. Got it. Okay. Is it the library? And download. This one. Okay, cool. So now we have plenty of games to play. I have a lot of like Twitch, Kick, whatever stuff to do. Anyway, so a lot of stuff we probably want to get going here, especially in the idea stage. I wanted to get the stream stuff going, which will probably be next week when I get back from Miami. Well, we're making progress. Also, I'm gonna add down here, buy a business, because with the right financing, we can afford to buy a business with some friends. With our budget, that's the most important thing, staying within this budget, but we're going to see if that works. And yeah, I think we're probably going to leave this episode there. That's probably where we're at. This was quicker. But no matter, we have it going. So, guys, thank you again for tuning in. I believe this concludes our episode 12. I'm going to my place in Miami for a bit, so I will not see you guys for a little while, but hopefully this is another decent episode, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I don't know what to say, but thanks for watching. Adios.